Hello and welcome to Miniature Realms and welcome to Epic Battles ACW vlog number 11. It's been a couple of weeks, I think, since I last did a vlog in this series. Those of you that haven't come across these before, I'm recording my my progress and jump into epic scale ACW from Warlord Games and generally into black powder as well. It's my first proper foray into black powder, so I thought it'd be fun to record what I do, so the painting of the armies, the terrain and things, and just generally my thoughts around it. There's lots of other American Civil War American Civil War 15mm stroke 13.5 epic scale Warlord stuff on the channel. Loads of unboxings of all of the releases so far, including the supporting releases from Sarissa Precision Terrain as well. So lots and lots of stuff on there, including a couple of painting guides, and there's a couple more coming up soon. But anyway, it's been a couple of weeks since I last recorded anything for the vlog. It's been a busy couple of weeks. I've actually been away on holiday with the family. Had a week down in Cornwall in Tintagel. Had some fun walking around the castle there. Yeah, it's been really nice, but when I'm away, obviously I don't get much hobby done. So in fact I got no hobby done at all. It was just sort of reading and things like that, which is nice and relaxing, but nothing much to show you guys on the channel. So I've got a few things to cover, the progress and the things I've done in the last couple of weeks. Let's move that one out of the way for now. So you'll see the 3 bits of terrain I've built. You'd probably, or you may have already seen the reviews of these. These are all Sarissa Precision. This is the rest of the Antietam battle set, which I mentioned on my last vlog, which just arrived as I was about to record that. So we have the Dunker House, we have a covered bridge, and we have a 3-arch bridge. I won't go into too much detail on my thoughts about these. I do that on the individual reviews. The reviews are really short. I think the longest one is 8 minutes, which is for this one. This is like 5 and this is like 3 minutes, so they're well worth going to have a little look to get my thoughts on them. But to sum it up, I like them all. I think this one's a little bit too big. It's been repurposed, and I think it's a little bit too large, but go and check those videos out to hear some more detailed thoughts. But what I will do is compare it with the 10mm Dunker Church that Ralph very kindly sent me, and this is the one I'm planning on using in the Antietam cornfield battle that I'm planning first, or the large battle I'm working towards. I thought it'd be a good, well, a few people have asked me to compare them, and it's definitely a right thing to do. So the Sarissa Precision stuff is true sort of 15mm, I believe. It's designed to scale perfectly with your epic scale troops. And I think it's great. I think the only thing that gamers may want to do is use something slightly smaller because of the footprint on the battle table. If you're trying to do larger games, and the epic scale is fantastic for that. If you're trying to do larger games of a couple of divisions or more, you may well really want to scale back terrain, maybe to 10mm or something that's feels like it's in between a little bit, and we'll discuss that a little bit more in the moment. But in terms of a product, this is really good. So anyway, there's your difference in scale. Now I think this is a chunky 10mm, and I'll show you a little bit more about that in a moment when I show you some of the other buildings and stuff. But anyway, there's your basic comparison. You can comfortably fit that one inside there, but both seem to work quite nicely for the figures. Right, let's take you on to the next thing I've done, which in many ways is a little bit more exciting. So here we are. I've painted a stand of the new Zouaves. So these are painted, I believe, in the same as Coppins Battalion. So I'll pop a couple of images up now, but I did a bit of research, and the blue and the red definitely seems to be right. There is a little bit of conflict on a couple of different sources on the edging. Some has a red sort of piping, some has yellow. I went with the photograph with the yellow that I found because it looks like reenactors, and they tend to be quite good with those things, whereas sometimes the artwork can be wrong. I'm probably completely wrong, and it's probably going to be the other way around. But I've not gone into too much detail with the kind of edging on them anyway. I focused on the front rank, just picking out little bits to give the idea of the edging on them, and the trim is such a small thing to paint on miniatures that are this small. It's really not needed, but I wanted to it just breaks up the blue a little bit, so that's why I did it. I don't know if they have a particular regimental flag for the Coppins Battalion. I couldn't find it. It's not on the flag sheets that are given anyway, but I've got the right state flag, and we've got the Army of Northern Virginia on there anyway, so that's perfect. There is another stand. It's nearly finished, nearly based, but I've recorded a short tutorial as well, which will be going up in the next week or two. But lots of fun painting these. I really enjoyed them. In many ways they felt a little bit easier than the standard troops. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's probably less kind of webbing, so to speak. There's less straps and things, and those are the bits that were most depressing, especially if you look at the backs there. They're very clear. You got your bags on the side, on the left hip, but other than that there's very little showing across their uniform. It's underneath the jacket. They've got kind of a double layered jacket thing going on, so maybe that's what made it feel nicer. There's a little bit more symmetry to them, less things all over the place, and means when you're doing a sort of the second, your third, the fourth pass, you're not going, oh, I've missed that bag, I've missed that pack, and it actually seemed a little bit easier to paint. Only thing I'll say that took us slightly longer was, funny enough, the faces. There's a bit more detail in them and a bit fuller, so just adding a flesh tone wash, I wanted to go back and just pick a tiny little highlight out on them, but you really don't need to do that. But I think they look quite cool. I'm only going to have a couple of stands of these. I went to pick a regiment to paint, and all the Louisiana Tigers were in the army that I'm building at the moment for Antietam, but by that time they'd lost most of the uniform, so I wasn't really sure how to represent them as yet. But I couldn't find any details whether the Coppins Battalion had lost their uniform or not. So I thought, right, I'll do about two stands of them. They can go in a brigade and represent the Coppins Battalion, and then I'll work out what to do with the Louisiana Tigers later on. Chances are I probably will paint a stand or so, and mix it in with some more regular troops to represent a few people that had their uniforms left over. I may even cut a plastic strip up and mix it up that way. Then I'll save the rest of the box for northern units who are obviously found it easier to resupply with official uniforms and things. Right, let's look at some other little purchases I've made and things that have arrived. Right, I've had a delivery from Hovels. As you know, I've been sort of babbling on about getting some different buildings to represent the different farmsteads in the area of Antietam that I'm planning, and obviously these will be, really good generic pieces moving forward after that. So I thought I'd order some from Hovels, and I've ordered some from Timecast as well. The Timecast ones haven't turned up yet, though I just had the dispatch notice as I'm recording this, so hopefully they won't be too long and they'll appear on the next vlog. I didn't really want to do an unboxing with Hovels or Timecast things. I think they're companies that people are familiar with, and I got a lot of unboxings on the channel as it is anyway, so I thought we'll just cover these within a vlog. So there's 3 sets here. So we have the complete farmstead, which is this here. So a small farmhouse, a couple of little outbuildings, some hay stacks, and you get some fence. This I really like, and will be really useful. Now this is the Henry house from Bull Run in a semi-ruined state. I'm not planning on doing Bull Run, but one of the farmhouse buildings on the Mummer farm is burnt by the Confederates at the beginning of the scenario, the part of the Antietam battle that I'm playing. So I thought it might be useful to use as that. I might change it a little bit so it doesn't look quite so much like the Henry house. Not that I recognise it, but some people may do. Just add some MDF wood in here so it looks like some broken timbers and things. If I feel it's the right scale. Scale is the thing. It's that real key. It's perfect for this 15mm stuff. Will work really nice with the miniatures. As you can see, it's absolutely perfect. The only question will be is how it works with 10mm stuff, etc. And this looks slightly larger, but it may still be fine. And then the last thing is this double-storey barn. Again, lovely piece, but I think it's perfect for the miniatures, but maybe just too big in terms of a footprint for the game I'm going to be playing. So for smaller scenarios with a few brigades aside, this stuff will come out. For larger games, when I'm trying to kind of abstract it a little bit more, this might be put away along with the bridge and things. This bit's really good. It's obviously supposed to be a very small farmhouse, but it scales nicely with the 10mm stuff I've got. And if I grab one of the other 10mm buildings, these were the ones that I bought on eBay, showed you on a previous vlog. They work well with the miniatures, but do look quite small, but do just about work. So it just helps with that abstract and keep that, you know, I don't want the battlefield to be dominated by buildings that look too large. These fast fares are supposed to be fairly well spaced out, and that would be the danger. But anyway, I've got a few more. When the Timecast ones arrive as well, I'll make my final decisions about which ones get used for the Antietam scenario, but I'll have a nice little collection of North American buildings and things between the 10 and 15mm scale, which will serve me quite well, I think. The next thing that arrived was this maize field or cornfield. Now, I've been looking at ways to make the cornfield, the centre of the battle, something a little bit more special. And I've been looking at this stuff on eBay and online, and it's been really hard to get in the UK at the moment. I'm sure pandemic and Brexit and all those other things have got things to do with that, but I found some on Amazon, funnily enough, but it is the wrong scale. It's HO scale rather than H. I think HO's works out at 25mm, but when you see it, it's probably not going to matter. So it's about, I think it's about £11. And if I was going to use just this stuff, I'd probably need about 4 packs to make it look good, and then it might be quite flimsy, but I'll show you what's in the packet. You basically get rows of, how well you can see that, rows of corn, essentially. It's quite high, as I say, it's made for 25mm. If you place it next to the miniatures, it goes above the heads. Corn does do that, so it's not unrealistic, especially at the time of the battle. It's also be incredibly easy just to trim the top layers of these off as well. I think the idea is that you put a bit of glue on the top and dip them in the flock, and away you go. It's quite a nice looking thing. My thoughts were to get my mats and trim out some of the areas, so you're just left with the rubber maybe around the edges, and put this in patches to add a little bit of detail around the edges. Might be a bit fiddly, but it could make them a little bit more special. It'll take an awful lot of this stuff to make a really, really good sort of thick cornfield, and I'm still going to have to put miniatures on the top of it anyway. It's quite flimsy stuff, so the actual front door mats that everyone uses is really practical, to be honest with you, for gaming, so there has to be a bit of a balance. But I thought I'd get a set and see what it looks like, and I quite like the idea of it, as I said, trying to tidy up and tart up the mats that are there. So cut some patches out of them, looks like they've been walked on and things, and stick some of these rows around the edges and flop them just to make them look a bit smarter. It may not work, but I thought I'd pick a pack of it up and see how it went anyway. And the final part, I'm sorry, we'll have to do some shaky cam here. When you've seen the battle table already, that's not really why I've set the camera up over this way. I've put a few of those buildings on, as you can see. I'm a bit worried about that ruined Henry house. I think it might be slightly too chunky compared to some of the others, but starting to get an idea. We'll look what the Timecast ones look like when they get here. But anyway, that's not why we're here. I wanted to try and blind everyone, and I've been playing around with the setup of the table. I've added a second big light, and then just bring you around here. Well, that is a cheap GoPro, essentially, 4K, and I've set it up. I'm still playing with a few settings, but I've set it up so I can record top down on the table. And I have my my iPhone on a really cool gimbal thing, and I have this 4K camera which I can put in a fixed position, because I am thinking about at some point in the future it would be cool to record a few battle reports, whether that be for other systems as well, but definitely for epic battles. It won't be for a while, but I thought it'd be a real shame to build all of this stuff and then when I play the games just report back to you and tell you that I've played a game. I know a few of you are following the journey along on the vlog, and it might be nice to record a few battle reports. Maybe not the Antietam one, maybe it might be too long, who knows, but record a few battle reports once I've finished painting up all the miniatures and put them on the channel. I don't think it was ever my plan when I started the channel was to do battle reports, and it definitely won't be the main thing I do. I'd like them to look good and be watchable. I've never done one before, so that's why I'm kind of investing a little bit of money into lighting, into cameras and things, so you've got more than one angle to look at. I know it'll take an awful lot of editing, and we're a long way off doing it. This isn't something that's going to arrive in a week or two, but I thought I'd just show you that I'd bought some big posh lamps to go over the table, regardless of whether I record it or not. It's lit the table really, really well. It's fantastic to play on. So yeah. Anyway, that's the end of vlog number 11. Thank you very much for watching and following my progress along with Epic Battles American Civil War. Please do like, share and subscribe and all that jazz. Check out the other videos on the channel, especially if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen them before. If you like your American Civil War stuff, you're interested in epic battles or just the models and things, look at all the other videos that I've got on the channel relating to it. There's a couple of playlists you can find it in. I think if you go to Epic Battles American Civil War, everything's under there, or you can look at just unboxings, or just this vlog has its own playlist as well. So there's a few ways to get to all the content on there, but there's a lot of videos. But thanks again, and I'll catch you soon.